Showtime, folks.
But first, dad jokes.
Hush, little girl, sweet baby, don't cry tonight. Daddy's here and he'll sing you a soft lullaby tonight. Why can't it all be like it was before? How can I explain why mommy's not here anymore? 'Cause daddy likes porno and $10 whores. Daddy gets wasted and robs liquor stores. Daddy likes rubbing against little boys on the bus. I think that's why your mommy left us. Mommy left us. Hush, little girl, there is no reason to fret tonight. Don't mind the smoke, Daddy just wants to forget. Soon it will all be like it was before. Any minute she will walk through that front door. But Daddy plays poker and drinks lots of beer. Then he wants sex that involves mommy's rear. Daddy has sores on his naughty parts oozing with pus. I think that's why our mommy left us. Please don't cry. I swear I'll try to be here by your side. Right after Daddy gets home from the bar, visits his bookie and steals a new car. He'll drive to the strip club, and if Daddy plays his cards right, he'll bring home your new mommy tonight.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Oh, man. It's been a minute. Welcome back to the Dad's Home podcast. I am Bauer. That is the Chad. It feels like forever, my friend, since we've chat.
It has been 642 days, 27 hours, 37 minutes, and 28 seconds.
I did my math is different. This is why I got into radio, is to not have to do math. And my math says 6 weeks ago, May 20th was the last Dad's Home podcast we recorded.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Shit's gone on. There's been stuff.
Dude, it has. Yeah. I mean, I got some ink while we were gone.
You did?
I did. Yes. Yeah. There it is. There.
Look at that.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that?
That is
protoplasm. I'm not sure.
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm a bit of a sci-fi nerd, so it's Doctor Who.
Oh.
Yeah. That is the language of Doctor Who. For those of you who are nerds, maybe you can read that.
I gotta be honest. I expected more words in the language. I didn't.
No, it's not the whole language. It's just two words.
The whole language. I'm like, that should be like words. An entire sleeve.
Right. It would. I could cover my whole body, I'm sure, but no, it's this particularly says cosmic perspective, which is a essay by it's COVID fog, folks. Sorry about this.
That's right.
The famous astronomer guy, black guy, whatever his name is. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name right offhand because I'm not in my astronomy frame of mind right now.
Me either. But anyway, that guy, he wrote this great essay about a cosmic perspective, which is basically like, look, in the grand scheme of things, we as humans are like toddlers in the universe. And if you think of yourself as that and you approach it with the same wonderment as a toddler, and you realize what a small piece of this is and how ignorant you are of everything that the universe has to offer, maybe we're a little bit better to each other. We're a little bit more singularly focused, all those kinds of things. So it's sort of like my version of Serenity Now from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I just, when some asshole in a pickup truck cuts me off, I look at my arm like this. I'm like, yeah, okay, Cosmo.
So it's a quick reminder.
Good luck, buddy. Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think, is who you're talking about. And I was thinking, I almost think that even for those of us not sci-fi fans like you, even the word ignorant tattooed someplace, like just reminding yourself that there's a shit ton you're ignorant to, and that's okay, might not be a bad thing.
I'm going to put that over here on this side.
I was kind of thinking it might be a good forearm reminder to have ignorant right there. Just reminder, dude, you're fucking ignorant. You don't know everything, okay? Just remind yourself there's a lot of shit you don't know. And just as a quick reminder, you're fucking ignorant. Okay.
Well, and it's the famous Walt Whitman quote, right? Be curious, not judgmental.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it.
By the way, is not Walt Whitman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, not Walt Whitman. That was, I think, purely written for Ted Lasso. So
I think you might be right on that.
He just made that shit up.
Welcome to it. On the way a little bit later on, we'll hear, as we've talked about numerous times here on this program, as a couple of softball dads, we will hear about sort of an out of control individual when it comes to softball. I know that you've probably been doing a lot of softball in the past 6 weeks. I know I have.
I have, yeah. It's been nonstop, dude. It's been every other weekend and sometimes back to back.
Yeah, and so when you hear something like this, then you go, what is going on with that individual? We'll find out a little bit later on as we go to the tape. But again, catch up on what's been going on for the better part of the last 6 weeks since the Dad's Home podcast has been around. I don't know about you. I know it's summer. We're the 4th of July weekend here in America, which means the way we celebrate it for those watching overseas, not in America, is that we strip away rights from women. That's what we do on the 4th of July. Make sure.
That's what independence means, folks. That's what it means. That's the pure definition.
As girl dads, and having wives and surrounded by women in the household, that is exactly what has happened. And this is a situation where I go, can I move to Canada or any place else, frankly, where my wife and my daughters are going to have rights more so than the 9mm gun the guy concerned that I cut him off on the highway is carrying? Because that seems logical. So let's celebrate it with the 4th of July.
Sure. And that 9mm has more rights than your daughter and your wife. So
Thank you, America. God bless America. That's what we're here to celebrate. That's what the fireworks and the 4th of July is for. So as I have talked about numerous times with the 4th of July summertime, and this is usually a Memorial Day kick-in for me, it's the Betty White drink. You are a fan of the Betty White. There we go. I've got mine as well. I added a little something. I looked for and couldn't find any place out here. The black cherry vodka, which is the same. Cherry. 3 Olives, which is the place. They're not a sponsor, although they should be of the show. The 3 Cherries vodka, along with the limonada, the cherry flavored. That's what makes the Betty White. If you get the black cherry vodka, then it's a black Betty, right? That's what I've had that before. It's a fantastic, but it's hard to find the black cherry vodka. Lamb. So I made a red-headed Betty today, which is just simply the Betty White with a splash of cranberry juice on the top for the red-headed Betty.
I like it.
You went with the double.
I went with the double mint Betty, which is double twin, double your fun, double mint, double Betty. So
I love it. I love it. This is really the only way to have a Betty White if you're going to have
it is. I mean, I just ought to change the recipe so that a double Betty is just a single Betty.
To be fair, it's not really safe to have two. Like if you're double fisting it with a Betty Whites, that's just not safe. So just condense it into one, make the double into one, and everybody will have a better time for your.
Because you never know when somebody at the barbecue that you're going to for July 4th weekend is going to huck a football at your head, and you need to deflect it. Right?
That's right. You have
what
no
you need
idea.
That free hand for.
So much shit can happen at a 4th of July party that could come at your face that if you're ill prepared for it, if you've got 2 drinks, somebody's getting wet and nobody's getting protected. And that's bad news for any 4th of July party. So be prepared. That's a little
right. And unless it's like, a group sex kind of thing, then, being wet and anyway, I'll just leave that there, folks.
Let me check those both off my list. Wet and free You never know when you're going to need that extra hand. Someone's got to say, on the OnlyFans page. All right, so welcome back. It's good to have you back, Chad. It's good to talk with you. It's good to see you.
Same.
When we last left this show, we were in the midst of the world's worst parent tournament.
Yep.
We got through one bracket, and then we were gone. I took on a new job. I have been training, wrapping up the last job and then training on the new job. So it's been just mayhem around here and all kinds of new hours and different hours and figuring out what the hours are going to be. So finally getting able to have Chad and I do this on a weekend when he's getting over an illness is all just, it's all worked out to this particular time frame. But we did have a tournament. We had one bracket. I think we have a winner from it, but I'm almost thinking like
we do. No, we got through two. We asked for votes on the second one.
Okay.
Haven't checked the Twitter page because COVID
things. Yeah, we've been a little on the busy side with this stuff. So
yeah, and you've been buried under a pile of newspapers like I don't remember if it was Flanders or Simpson, but
one of them
couldn't reach the phone, and that's been you with your job. So yeah, here we are.
Any of that footage, the social media footage, is that scientist from, I believe she's from Germany or something, where she's talking about if you hit the ruler, you can flip the ruler off the edge of the table with your hand. If you lay a full newspaper down on it, because of the air pressure that's on top of that large piece of newspaper, you hit that same ruler, you snap the ruler in half because it can't push up the newspaper that quick. It's physics, I guess, is what
physics, folks. Yeah.
And so with that, buried under maybe even not a lot of newspaper, but enough to make it difficult to get out from, has been a challenge here for the Dad's Home podcast for myself. So
but we're back.
We're back and thankful that we're back as well. So the tournament, Chad, do you have an update on the tournament? Do you have at least a place where we might be able to start with this tournament?
I do. Right. Let me dig up here.
Just laid that down at your feet without much preparation for
right.
it. So
I've got this.
For those of you who don't know, we've been putting together from the start. This is episode number 213, by the way, of the Dad's Home podcast. Lucky number 213. And as we were throwing this all together for the first 11 episodes, we'll call it, we were just picking out some of the worst parents that we found in the every week to week doing the show, and then entered them all into an NCAA style bracket. And this is where we began the voting to find out from you who you think the worst parent of 2022 will be.
Yep, and we've got the winner from the first bracket was the Shut the Fuck Up Kid and Meth Mom.
Yes.
Meth Mom was voted. Yep.
That's kid.
That's him.
Okay.
Meth Mom beat him out, giving your kid meth to help chill him out, to help relax him was definitely the worst parent move there.
I mean, not only do we go back to the ignorance factor, not only is meth not something that will help your child chill out if they're anxious or nervous, may even contribute to part of that problem.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
But so on the medical side, that certainly makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And then I think the last one that we were had people vote on was Porn Mom versus Mad Mom.
Oh,
so it was the mom whose kid drowned in the pool while she was filming adult content for OnlyFans. And then the Mad Mom was the one who she was driving home from a party with her 8-year-old kid, 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid in the back, swerved, almost hit a cop, gets pulled over, and the cop asks her, "Hey, have you been drinking?" She says, "Nope." And the kid drops a dime on mom and says, "Oh, mom, don't lie. You've been drinking."
Yeah.
And of course, hilarity ensues from there. So
right. As you would only imagine.
Yeah. Which is worse, driving your kid around town drunk at 2 a.m? Yeah. Or letting your kid die in a pool.
Because you were filming porn.
Right, because you're filming porn.
Yeah.
I think, without probably even looking at the votes, we can just safely say that Porn Mom wins that one hands down.
I think that's a number one seed that is going to be very tough to kick out of this tournament.
Agreed. She's that one. They can go deep. They got a deep bench on that team.
Sure.
And
a lot of talent on that team. Some great hands. Some great legs. There's a lot of. There's a lot of inability to turn the other cheek. I mean that in multiple ways when you're talking about filming for OnlyFans while your kid's drowning in the pool. Yes. But okay. Yeah. And clearly a star that is captivating. Everybody's going to be paying attention to because nobody was rescuing a 2-year-old who was drowning in the pool when she was filming. I don't know what she puts on film, but it's got to be good.
Totally.
Yeah.
So then I would say this week we should probably we should go episode 202 versus episode 203.
Okay, back-to-back episodes there.
Back-to-back episodes, yeah. That is the kid in the car with the gun.
Oh,
and that's one I believe mom went inside and the kid ends up killing, left the gun in the car, and young kid gets a hold of it and I think either kills his brother or kills himself. I forget which.
Kills a sibling, I think.
Sibling.
Yeah,
that was right. Yeah, we'd have to go. It's been a while since I've got back to the tape on that one, but
yeah.
And then episode 203 was what we're calling Basket Barfer, which was the. She was the
remember her
now former candidate for a seat in the House of Representatives from Oklahoma, who went to a party and got wasted and
by the way, a party that it was like a kid's party, wasn't it? Like
kids party. Kids party.
You're talking like
a kid's overnight birthday party, like 12, 13-year-olds. Yeah.
Right.
And she proceeded to get really drunk and then berate those children verbally, and then she of course throws up at some point in the laundry basket.
Now that for out of those two, clearly one resulted in a death, which has largely been, when you're looking at a de facto sort of tournament bracket, if the kid dies, generally you're thinking, okay, well that parent's fucked up enough, they should be moving forward. However, I would make this argument: her kid has to live with her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As the mom who made the news for just tearing apart every child in this party while drunk, also running for office, like a seat in Congress, and making this kind of an ass of herself. So look, sometimes I think the living might have to deal with more than the dead do when we're talking about the tournament for worst.
That is true. There's definitely an albatross around the neck.
Yeah.
Kind of a effect there for that family and that kid.
Because that kid, even if that kid was like, Mom, stop, you got to get out of here. Mom, you're so embarrassing. Leave now. You're drunk. Get out of here. That kid is always going to have to live with the fact that her mom called other kids shitty names and was drunk in doing so. I don't think there's any way to escape that. You're always going to hold on to that as a young teenager.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, that's therapy for many years to come.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is an asshole and ruined my life.
So those are the two that are competing against each other in the current bracket. We'll be putting that up on our Twitter page. Follow us on Twitter at Dad's Home Podcast, at Dad's Home Podcast. You can cast your vote there as well. So, okay, we're moving forward with this, and I feel good about this. Hopefully there won't be any kind of breaks that will keep us from being able to do these podcasts going forward. But, anything happens. This is real life, folks. This is what happens in real life.
That's true.
How about talking a little dad advice? I don't know if you've got anything that you've seen come your direction over the better part of the last 6 weeks here, Chad, but there are some dads out there who just want sort of generic advice, if you will, some general advice. And then there's some some want to know, like, what are the things as a parent, what are the things that we need to get straight in life? As somebody who's a new parent, what do I need to get straight in life? What are the things that I need to take care of to just kind of feel like I'm on solid footing now that I've got a kid or now that I've got a newborn? That's one thing we can look at. But I also think this one kind of hit me as interesting because I think we could probably dig up some advice on this relatively quickly. This person says they're 17. They've never talked with their parents about anything related to shaving. But I feel that I'm old enough, I should be able to ask my dad for a razor or something like that. At 17, you have to ask your dad for a razor? I'm shocked by that.
I am too. There's something wrong in that household.
Yeah.
I mean, look, my reaction to that one was, bruh, really?
Yeah.
Like, okay, ask a coach at school.
Sure.
I mean, assuming you play sports. If you don't, cool. Let's say you're a theater kid.
Right.
Ask one of your buddies in theater. I'm sure they'd be happy to help you with that.
Sure.
If your parents aren't going to help that. And your parents are
because if you're
assholes.
17 and you've never shaved,
you should know.
You're looking pretty Grizzly Adams, I would imagine, by the time
you're looking like me.
You're looking
like me,
like
folks.
Chad. you got the Chad beard going on there. So he says,
I had the same beard in high school. It just was, darker.
Oh, nice. So. Okay, gotcha. I need to shave both my face and my body after looking at the internet for way too long. I think I need both a safety razor and a hair trimmer, but my problem is that I'm worried my dad, he wouldn't agree to get me a trimmer, and maybe I don't actually need it. Should I ask for a trimmer to trim my body hair, and can I use the same safety razor for my face and for my body? Not the area down there, though. Okay, so he's got a little bit of knowledge.
He's not going to shave his balls.
He's not with a safety razor, not with a Bic razor, apparently, and I don't blame him for that.
No, I've shaved my balls in the past. At least I'm sorry. For a friend of mine told me that they shaved their balls once.
Right.
So I know the ins and outs and the pitfalls there,
and the possible cuts and.
Yeah.
No styptic pencil is going to make you feel better down there. Now, for the 17-year-old, he has no idea what I'm talking about with the styptic pencil, but that's okay. Is there any way to make a trimmer quieter? I'm embarrassed about others in my family hearing me shave. Well, first of all, you're 17. You shouldn't be embarrassed about any of that stuff. No. I say shave away, get a fucking chainsaw if you need to. Let everybody in the house know that you're old enough to be shaving, and somebody in that house should be talking to you about it. First off, that's my first bit of knowledge to you here. Number two, as Chad pointed out, ask a friend if you're just not sure. But I make the suggestion, if you like, let's say you wanted to have the Chad type beard. There are plenty of videos on YouTube that are telling you how to grow that beard out, what you need to do to have the cool kind of, hipster beard thing going if you decide you want to go that direction, right? There's all sorts of helpful videos out there for all of those things. But I almost think the reality is I could give you a couple of tips that I think would make things easier. My own personal favorite things, and again, these are not sponsors, so we're not making any money from this, but two things
we should.
I agree. So any sponsors that hear this, first of all, Harry's razors. I love Harry's razors. They're fantastic. And it's got for me, as opposed to like a Bic razor where it's really light, the handle's light, everything's really light. It feels almost like feather light, like you could drop it. I almost feel like I'm not getting a good solid shave that way. So I like a heavy handle to my razor, the bladed razor, not a trimmer razor. Bladed razor when I'm shaving my face.
Razor should feel meaty.
Yeah, it should have a girth to it. It should have certainly a weight to it as you're kind of working the face and getting a nice, clean, close shave. So that's the.
I like my razors like I like my women. Meaty.
And this is going to be weird, but I'm going to say this: is I don't use traditional, like shaving cream or shaving gel. Those things, okay. I've got a very sensitive face, Chad. You can see by the looks of the face if you're watching this on YouTube. I have a very sensitive face. All this right here is very. I'll break out. I'll get red and itchy depending on the type of material. So what I use, and this is the one thing that I've found that works for me, and I haven't heard of anybody else saying that they've done this, and I can't remember which guest I had when I was Sirius that told me about this, but the head slick, which is a shaving cream that you use if you're shaving your head. Like when Michael Chiklis shaves his head to just be bald, right? When LeBron shaves his head to be bald, they use like that head shaving cream. It's like a slick, it's not even like a cream or a gel. It's like a slick kind of a feeling on your head, but it manages to get you the cleanest, closest shave. Absolutely zero kind of razor bumps from shaving at all. Any kind of skin irritation doesn't happen with this. Comes in a big old yellow bottle, and I absolutely love this stuff. I've been using it for the better part of the last, I would say, 10 years easily as my shaving cream on my face. So I just do the same thing. Put a little dollop in your hand, rub it around, put it on. Or if you want to use, I got one of those brushes. Do you use the brushes, Chad? I think those are so cool.
No, I don't have very much to shave. I've got like this right here.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that part. You're just kind of tightening up. Yeah, you're tightening up the line and then kind of like defining here. Yeah. I will use it. I'll even use the brush and I'll brush it on there just because I like that feeling a little bit. But then it gives me such a nice, clean, close shave. Those complement each other so well. The Harry's razor and that clean, close shave. I've sent them to my brother for Christmas. He uses it now exclusively. My dad, who was always like a Gillette foam or Barbazol. He had the Barbazol foam.
Oh, heck yeah.
It was just like a big pile of whipped cream, and he would shove that on his face. Now he uses these things as well. And it's just my personal recommendation for this kid who's trying to figure out how to shave. I would go with the head slick as your shaving cream, and I would go with the Harry's razor, where you can cut. It's just honestly the handle's really what you're buying, and then you can do replacement blades all the way through. But it is the cleanest, closest shave. I absolutely love it. I've not done it on my balls. I will be clear. Neither one of those have I.
That was my next question. Have you used the head slick on your balls?
I have not used head slick. Okay. It feels like it would be appropriate.
I got to go buy some now and try it on my ball. My friend's got to go try it. And
yeah, you're right. Right. Yeah, no, that makes absolute sense.
I'm going to tell my friend about head slick, and because I know he shaves his balls. So
if he's, I'm telling you, it is the proper way to go. There's nothing like it's called head blade, head slick, and they call it the shave cream. It's really less of a cream and more of it's like a cross between a gel and a cream, but it is so fantastic and absolutely no issues with any kind of skin irritation. So that's what I highly recommend.
Excellent. All right, cool. Yeah, and the advice to the dad is just be a man. Step up and let your son be your son, man.
Dude,
show up for your kids. Be present. Yeah, be like. And at some point in time, that kid needed to show up for his kid and be like, "Yo, kid, it's about time you start learning how to shave. Let me show you how I do it. Come in here."
I mean,
and literally, let him stand there and watch you shave.
I distinctly remember this. There was a lot of times my dad was just not present in my growing up, but I distinctly remember probably about the age of maybe 5 or 6. Standing in the bathroom with him in the mirror, he's shaving, and he put some of the shaving cream on my face, and I had a razor, but it had a little cap on it, so I couldn't do anything with it. Yeah. But I was doing that where I was pushing it down and following him along with it. And he was telling me the right way to do it and to make sure you got up under here. Like, that is something that happened at a very young age. 17, and you haven't talked to him about that at all. Yeah. You got to be more present for your son.
And I mean, in a house full of girls, that's mom's job. Sure. Because shaving the legs is a thing. And so I know my wife, Paula, has had that conversation with all 3 of our girls now at this point. And, it's at various points, right? They're around the time now, like my youngest is 12 and they've probably around 12, 13, that conversation has happened. So, which is about the time where they're like, oh, hey, look, other girls my age are shaving their legs. And what is all this weird black stuff? And it's funny though too. Like you can tell sometimes like my oldest Kate, she plays softball, so she's rarely like in a bathing suit anymore. So like you look at her and you're like, hey, yo, what's up, Amazon? And they're like, big deal, right? And she doesn't give a shit,
right.
And so that's the other thing too is being. I think the word is hirsute. I may be wrong about that one.
I'm with you. I've seen that as well. Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and I would say that's something. I think. Men have seen those phases, right? Where we've seen the highly manscaped and how that's been talked up.
The 90s.
Yep. And into the 2000s where it was all about manscaping and making sure even getting waxed, dudes getting waxed, all of that.
Yeah, that's when I started shaving my balls. I mean, my friend started shaving his balls.
Wow, you're very much, a lot about your friend's ball shaving.
Dude, he's my best friend. He's my best friend.
Talked about it a lot.
Oh, dude,
apparently we do. Very open about it.
We're on the phone all night to each other.
She's like, dude.
Talking about bands and girls and
how you
shaving our balls. I mean,
Manny Teddies. It's been all. So there was a time for that. Now I think, they do still market things like that. I think there was one I saw like the lawnmower or the I don't know what it was. It's some type of razor that they're marketing out there now for that. That I think that this is sort of kind of fallen by the wayside now. Some women like their men to be manscaped. Some don't even care. I think it's just wherever you sit on this for the 17-year-old kid, unless you feel like you're just fucking Bigfoot and you need to shave down, I wouldn't even worry about that. Like, take one step at a time. Get everything on the face proper the way you want it first. Then you can worry about the rest of the Wookiee.
Amen.
Yeah. All right. Also, it's any other tips that you have, Chad, from your friend? Anything your friend would want to? You want to text your friend, see if he has any tips to pass along for ball shaving?
Hold on. Let's see.
See if there's any new tips out there that I'm just not aware of that maybe could be helpful and certainly. Well,
no, but I just let him know about the head slick cream or whatever the hell you said it was. Yeah. He was excited to try it. So if you could just send a link to buying that on Amazon or something.
Yeah, I will absolutely do that. Well, and we'll post one in some of the notes here as well so that you get a chance to. I highly recommend. They do not pay me anything. They should, because I have purchased this for a number of friends and family. I highly recommend it. Everybody I know that's tried it has loved it. So I will definitely pass that along to everybody here. The Harry's Razor as well as the Head Slick, which is fantastic. It's a way better shaving cream than anything you could buy at the Walgreens. TVS. I do have to order it through Amazon. So I'm it's one of those things is as I start to get low, you have to think about it. As a 17-year-old who's never shaved before, you have to think about this ahead of time. You can't just go, shit, well, I'm not going to shave it. I can go run down to the store and get it. I have to order it on Amazon because I don't know if it's going to be at the store. So I always have to order ahead when it's getting low in the container. And that way, I order like 2 or 3 of them and have them good for a good period of time. So
this also feels like one of those things where veteran dads should tell newer dads about
Yes.
advice, right? Like this is like Business Idea Thursday, right? We could have a
Yes.
consulting firm, a dad consulting firm that goes to baby showers, right? The dudes all just stand around and drink beer anyways. So if you have the veteran dad there that comes in and gathers all the guys around, has a PowerPoint presentation or some shit like that.
PowerPoint, I like
right?
It's good. Yeah, I like it.
I'm in the Business Idea Thursday. I've got the whole business plan going.
Sunday, I had this, and I thought this would be literally a great business idea, Chad. I had my rent-a-dad concept, which was same kind of a thing. But if you needed, like, if you were like, I got a big project I got to do. I've never laid any laminate flooring at the house, and I've got but I wish I had my dad who could help me with that. You could go to a website for rentadad.com or whatever, and you could find somebody who specializes in flooring or laminate flooring that you could rent for the day, that maybe kind of sits down and shows you how to do it or is there for the project. Somebody that you get to know ahead of time before the project takes place. So it's like having your dad or a friend there for you. You guys can pop a couple of beers and lay the laminate flooring and everything's good. But it also works if you're going to have a child, or if you're going to have, if there's car problems, whatever it is, you're renting a dad. If you just need somebody to talk to because your dad wasn't present, you can befriend somebody and have this dad that is there in your life helping you with those kinds of things. Like,
dude, it's top notch. I actually saw an advertisement actually it was on social media. I was clicking through and somebody posted this and like, this is real, folks. It was on the Craigslist or something where these like 20 something kids, right, were having a party. Yeah. And they needed a dad to come grill.
Okay.
For the party. So they like, hey, if you're a dad, we're going to pay you in beer. Nice. And we just need you to show up and be a dad and say dad things and do dad stuff like grill.
Sure.
And then you could stay at the party if you want afterwards and pay with Bill. And then it was like, if your name is like Bill or Jack or Steve, right? Like if you had a serious good dad name, that was bonus points. So
the Chad is a great dad name. That's one that you cannot to be listed. You cannot underrate that at all. But I think
Chad the dad. I mean, seriously, like that's
it's right there. It's right there.
Yeah, on my rent-a-dad profile, that's my call
and it could be something simple. Like you purchased furniture from IKEA, you don't fucking get it. How are you going to put this thing together? Get a dad who knows how to put IKEA furniture together, and boom, you guys are enjoying beers. You're paying them, I don't know, whatever, $10 an hour, and you guys are putting IKEA furniture together, watching football, talking about whatever. There's a bunch of cool, I think, ideas in there that if you
actually speaking of IKEA, did you hear the CEO of IKEA was hired as the prime minister of Sweden?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he's struggling to put his cabinet together. So hey, there's another thing we can do. Tell dad jokes.
Someone's been reading up on dad jokes. That's what's been happening.
I mean, when you have COVID, what else do you do, right? You fucking sit in your room in quarantine and read dad jokes.
All right, when we come back, we will find out what kind of animal does this.
Fuck yeah.
I can't wait to see that video.
That is on the way here at the Dad's Home Podcast.
This is a clearly not metrosexual moment in history.
The New York City subway hero. This January, 50-year-old Wesley Autry saw a young man fall onto the subway track. Was Autry's first instinct to let somebody else know of the problem? Hell no. He reached down and tried to pull the man off the tracks. However, he couldn't get him. He just couldn't get a good grip, all right? Step off. With a train approaching and the young man's life in jeopardy, do you think real man Wesley Autry worried about perhaps getting a little hobo urine on his hands? No, sir. He jumped onto those tracks himself and laid down on top of the man so that both of them would be passed over by the roaring subway cars. At that moment, a lesser man might have thought, oh no, I can't be seen lying on top of another man. What if they think we're boyfriends catching a little together time underneath the number 1 train? Not manly man Wesley Autry. And even if he were gay, he knows there's nothing wrong with that. Other manly superheroes have been gay. Aquaman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and it didn't matter at all. Autry saved a man's life without worrying about pressing his face against subway rats having sex. That's a real man. This has been Lee Camp. For more funny crap, check out leecamp.net and sharkbaby.com.
It's The Onion Radio News. God is diagnosed with bipolar disorder. This is Doyle Redland reporting. After a diagnosis that explains the confusing and contradictory aspects of the cosmos, the Lord God, creator of the universe and popular longtime deity to billions of followers, was found to suffer from bipolar disorder today. Reverend Dr. J. Henry Juergens.
Sadly, he's not in control of his actions.
but he is in control of ours.
Juergens plans to form a support group, Living with a Bipolar Creator Deity, as a forum for all of humanity to discuss their feelings about living in a universe run by an omnipresent loved one, not fully in control of his emotions. Doyle Redland for The Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Welcome back to the Dad's Home Podcast. I'm Bauer. That is the Chad. 6 weeks since our last podcast, and we're thrilled to be back with you here.
Summer hiatus.
Yeah, it really did kind of feel like a hiatus, didn't it?
Yeah, I miss doing this so much. Like I was a bit like an addict, right? Not whatever they see. COVID brain can't come up.
Yeah. I got you. You were jonesing for it.
I was jonesing. Yeah.
That's all right. I was jonesing for it too. And trust me, there was plenty of stuff that I was doing. There was plenty of shit that I was putting out there. And I'm like, I miss Dad's Home. I do. I miss it. So good to be back with our Dad's Home baby and Dad's Home family here for you as well. So one other thing I wanted to address before we get into what we're going to look at for the tape here today, and kind of a Neanderthalic animal makes those kinds of noises at a softball game. I'm stunned.
Who does that?
I'm appalled by. Look, there are lots of things that happen at games. I get it. Some things you're happy with, some things you're just not happy with. But this kind of language. There's some. That seems like there's. Excuse me, sir. There's kids around here.
Right. I know it is inappropriate.
It is completely. I'm not saying he should have been kicked out of that game.
He should have. Come on. You can't say that in front of kids.
If he had, would any of us batted an eye? No, we would have been like, makes sense. Of course it makes some sense.
Absolutely.
So we'll get to the tape on that. Although I will say this. This one thing I found out. That video is difficult to download. I think it's very private on Facebook. So it's been a challenge to get that video downloaded. But we've got the audio for it. So that part of it.
Well, and actually, I know a guy. So I probably could.
Wow.
Yeah, if we need to, and I could probably do this very quickly. I could get a hold of my guy, and he could probably.
If he's not shaving his balls.
If he's not busy, yeah, same friend actually, same friend. So
that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about here. One of which I think as being parents, we can all admire how out and out stupid we can be as parents. I'll just bring a celebrity example to the table here. I don't know if you heard about this the past week, but Ben Affleck's 10-year-old son, Ben Affleck decided to go rent a Lamborghini. He and J-Lo went out.
That's not his car.
No,
I didn't know that.
He and J-Lo were gonna go out for a little ride and take in the town where I'm guessing it's Florida. I don't know where they were when this all happened, but they were out and he was going to go rent. Ben Affleck was going to go rent himself a Lamborghini. So while looking at the different types of, high profile cars that you could rent at some of these locations, Ben Affleck decided to let his 10-year-old get behind the wheel of a Lamborghini while probably considering, hey, this banana yellow, almost minion-like Lamborghini that costs more than you and I make in a year let's let the 10-year-old sitting there for a minute while we're kind of talking about, is this the one we want to rent, J-Lo? Is this the car we want to take out for a rent? And he puts his son in the car. Now, one of the things about, newfangled cars, if you will, Chad, you know this as well, is that sometimes it just takes a press of a button. Like you don't even need a key that you have to crank over inside the ignition for a car to start these days. It's literally
and switching gears, same thing, right?
Same thing. Literally a push of a button. You've got it. In some cases with those faster cars, they're on the steering wheel. Like you're holding.
Right. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, because it's a Lamborghini, that it's probably that F1 shifting kind of thing going on there
on the wheel, so that you're not having to shift the car like the good old days. This is all done right there as fast as you can. You're hitting that. So the 10-year-old is in the car, probably not necessarily. He started the start button or heard the engine rev up or something, but then didn't realize that the steering wheel is what is shifting the car and runs the car backwards into a BMW on the lot there, another car that was for rent. So a little bit of a embarrassment for Ben Affleck. A little bit of, I'm sure.
You think?
I don't. He was Batman in the Justice League. I don't think he's going to have a hard time coming up with money to pay for the repairs on either the Lambo or the BMW in this.
Although I know it costs $1,700 to replace a light bulb on a BMW. So the only reason I know that too is because literally, no joke, this time a friend of mine had like a 700 series BMW, and he went to go get it checked at the DMV, right? So you can make sure that it's passes its inspection, and it's like, oh, hey, we can't pass you because your blinker light's out. Yeah. So he's like, okay, cool. I'm going to take it down to the dealer. They'll fix this, right? It should be no big deal.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Sir, the bill to change the blinker light on your car, $1,700. He literally went that day, went and traded that motherfucker in.
Yes.
Excuse the French, folks, and bought himself an American car.
Wow. So, first of all, I am stunned at the language you use there. You should be kicked out of a softball game. I should. I really should.
But
secondly, that's a very, very steep price to pay for.
It is for a light bulb. So I can only imagine that a Lamborghini plus BMW equals into the hundreds of thousands of dollars to just repair.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I'm exaggerating some, but not much. Because by the time you back a Lamborghini into a BMW and both have damage, holy shit.
Right?
Because your 10-year-old, you're like, hey, sit here, son. 10-year-old. What could possibly go wrong?
And by the way, did that? I'm just curious here, thinking about the light that you had to replace in the turn signal on the BMW. Did that actually have to come out of like a German princess's womb in order to cost $1,700? Did she have to give birth to that? Because that feels like.
Yeah, it's like the Queen Alien, right?
Right.
She lays a bunch of eggs deep in the basement of some off-world planet, and they have to fly a spaceship out there to get it, bring it back, and then,
I feel like you pay less than 10% of that at AutoZone to be able to get a bulb to replace that.
From what I understand, the bulb is like $40, and then the labor is $1,660.
All right, that makes sense now. That's a total.
I mean, little German men.
Yeah,
clean suits in a clean room with German princesses,
right?
In there as well, having to remove the bumper, and
they hire for the sole purpose of charging you more. They hire little dwarfs that dress like Oompa Loompas to run around in there and crawl underneath the car and whatever it takes just to make you feel like you're getting your money's worth in whatever's happening.
Yeah, folks, if you pull up to the dealership and Willy Wonka is your service manager, I would think twice about either owning that car or going to that dealership. Just saying.
At least rethink it. I don't think Claudia Schiffer actually gave birth to these light bulbs, so this isn't going to help you when it comes time to putting those things in and then footing the bill for it. It's not going to work that way.
I know.
All right,
and look, BMW, if you want to sponsor us, we're looking for sponsors.
I mean, they're great cars, but the service, unless you live up to the reputation, imagination I've created for you with the Oompa Loompas running around fixing the cars, that would be worth it. I would pay $1,600 for that. It'd be like a little circus.
I would.
Yeah. All right. So what is it that that has got to be one of the most embarrassing moments that Ben Affleck has had to go through, minus at least 3 or 4 of the movies that he had on his IMDb, because there's been some.
He definitely has had a few that were not. I don't know what's the word.
Good. That were complete shit.
Yeah,
is that what you're leaning into that one there? Because I'll even admit this: I'm a huge Batman fan. I wasn't a big fan of him as Batman necessarily.
No, I totally agree. I
would have to say, oh gosh, I'm just looking down the list of movies. Which, by the way, it's hold on, I'm looking at the producer, which is why it's so. All right, so I'm looking at like. Well, first of all, the Jay and Silent Bob, I appreciate that he got into that because he was, he kind of played the friends to those guys. So that was cool. But Argo was a great movie. I'll give him some credit for that. That was fantastic. I never saw Smoking Aces. I've never seen, and I would have to imagine between the 2004 years of Ben Affleck's career, which involved Jersey Girl, which I believe had J-Lo in it, as well as Surviving Christmas. Those are ones that I think you may not put at the top of your resume. Might not be the ones like, did you ever see Jersey Girl? Did you see the work I did in Jersey Girl? Did you?
I never saw that movie because
No,
it was not,
nobody did. Actually, maybe I'm wrong because I'm seeing here that he and J-Lo were in Geely.
Geely. Actually, I heard that was a total dog pile of shit.
Well, there you go. So that even prior to 2004, if you're looking back at the Ben Affleck IMDb, prior to 2004, you were seeing the shit movies come together for him there. Geely was prior to 2004. So 2003, you had Geely. He did Daredevil, which okay, all right.
Well, yeah. How does he go from Daredevil, which is DC, to also being Batman? Like,
right?
Don't those hardcore fanboys go, wait a minute, hold on a minute?
Questions there. I mean, look, you've got Christian Bale, who played Batman for 3 movies, now playing the bad guy in Thor. So there's a lot of that crossover that doesn't deserve to be there. So he was Daredevil in 2003, Geely in 2003, and then Paycheck, which I don't know what that was in 2003, but that I haven't seen very many Ben Affleck movies. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one either. So
I'm just say for the better part of most of Ben Affleck's IMDb career, there's been some embarrassments, but none as embarrassing as his son backing into with a, over $100,000 Lamborghini, backing into a probably close to $100,000 BMW. How have your kids embarrassed you the most?
God,
I've had
had you sent this question to me ahead of time, I would have had a little bit more. Probably would have been able to.
Let me give you my 2 examples, and you can see if you can outdo the embarrassment that I suffered from. Number one, we're and my oldest daughter would just kill me for saying this. My oldest daughter Charlie is probably 3 years old. We're in Brooklyn, New York. We are at summertime, and they've got these wonderful splash pads all over Brooklyn and parks all over the place out there. They've got, it's a part of a park, so you can go run and hit the slides and go run across the bridge and, go climb on the monkey bars and all that stuff. And then there's also a little splash pad there at the park. And summertime, everybody's there with their kids doing that. Throughout the afternoon, we've had like a cool little lunch out by the East River, and then we're playing at the splash pad there. And she comes running over to me, and she's trying to tell me that she has to go to the bathroom. But the problem was she had actually pooped herself on the splash pad prior to the telling me portion of it. So as she's telling me, I kind of look over, and nobody's near the water pad, and you can figure out why, because there's a big log of poop right there.
Yep.
On the water pad. And now I'm looking around. Everybody's kind of, looking to see who left that. And now I've like got to go clean it up and throw it away. Like, I'm trying to do it like as if, who would leave? That's disgusting. Let me grab this shopping bag, this plastic shopping bag randomly out of my baby bag that I usually will end up using for diapers. Let me just grab that real quick and then go pick this thing up. Like somehow I'm the savior of the water pad. Everybody there.
All right. Whose dog left their dookie right here on the splash pad?
Who let their dog here? Who did this? I'm looking around like, this is disgusting. Honey, no, you stay back. You stay away from this. I'll take you to the bathroom in a minute. I got to take care of it. No one else is doing this. Let me take care of this right now.
Oh, man.
So that's one of them.
Yeah.
And then the other one came from the same daughter. I think I've told this story before, where she's a little bit older and we're at a park. Play dates are always the prime time for these types of things to happen. We're at a park, just having a great time. She's playing with kids there, and she's trying to explain to me this one girl that she's just made friends with. And I said, well, what's her name? She's, I don't know. I said, how do you not know her name? You've been playing with her for like an hour. She goes, it's, and she points to the girl in front of everybody, yells, "It's Dora the Explorer over there."
Oh, no.
And it was the little Hispanic girl who had the same haircut, same kind of bowl haircut that Dora the Explorer had. But she didn't know her name. She just knew her as Dora because she sounded like Dora. She didn't have a
looked like Dora, and her world perspective. This goes back to the cosmic perspective, right?
Totally.
Her world was, hey, Dora, I'm connecting the dots, Dad.
I might even like her because she seems a lot like Dora. Like that could be a legitimate reason why. Hey, she liked a little red dude named Elmo. Why couldn't she like Dora and then have right? So it was at that point yelling it across and everybody hearing it. And the person that I was most worried about was the mom or dad for that kid having their kid called Dora the Explorer. It was a rather embarrassing moment at that time.
Turns out, that kid actually now grew up to be the one on Instagram who's like, "Hola, soy Dora."
Yes,
and usually has shit thrown at her face. That girl, you probably
that's her. That's her.
That's her. Same girl.
Good for her. She's making a shit ton
I know.
of money on that.
I know. Why not? Right.
Her.
Yeah. Actually, so I while you were talking, I remembered the most embarrassing story, or one, I'm sure of many, but the one that popped into mind was we lived in St. Louis at the time and had really great neighbors around us, but we were, the young couple with young kids around older retired couples. And there's a couple lived behind our house, right? So directly behind us.
Yeah.
And our yards essentially were more or less just like right next door, like literally a fence and then yard, and they weren't very big. But our driveways were also literally like steps across a little like ditch. And so at some point in time, I'm like up in the kitchen, probably doing dishes or something. And I look out the back window and I see my kid in the neighbor's driveway, like with her. I think they were playing in the backyard, similar like water. They were playing with a water slide or hose or something. I see her in the neighbor's driveway. She drops trow and just pees in the neighbor's driveway, right? Broad daylight next to a road, and she's like 3 at this point. So she has no idea. And so I'm like, oh crap. So I come downstairs and I'm like, hey, look, if you got to go to the bathroom, at least just go in our yard, right? Right. Like, don't go over to the neighbor's house. Shame on you.
Right.
And
use their driveway.
Right. Use their driveway. And so I go next door, and of course it's near their hose. And so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to use the hose. It's summertime. I'm going to spray this off.
Down,
it's going to spray it down, get it over the dirt. Right. And so I turn their hose on. And before I even pull the trigger, it's one of those expandable hoses.
Oh, yeah.
I hear the
yep.
And so I look over, and now there's water just pouring out of a giant hole that used to it was a giant bubble, and then it burst. And so I've broken their hose.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I use what I can to rinse off the driveway, turn it off. And then I have the enviable job of walking over to their front door, knocking on the door, going, hi, yeah, my kid peed in your driveway. And I was trying to be a good citizen and use your hose to clean it off. Yeah. And I broke it.
And I broke your hose. So
then I broke your hose.
And you kind of think to yourself, okay, as I'm walking up the steps, do I tell them about the broken hose first and then kind of go back? And I did that because.
And here's the reason why.
What's the steps that you go through this story?
Kids, man.
Man, oh man. Well, look, it's happened to all of us. Experience it. I say dwell in it, soak it up, because there will be a point in time where you'll have these kinds of stories to relate to other parents when they're telling you the most embarrassing thing that's happened to them. But it has most definitely happened to all of us. It will happen to all of us. There will be more. I can't wait for the moment that my daughter and your daughter can talk about the most embarrassing thing we did to them, that when we made them embarrassed, because I feel like that happens almost daily around the Bauer household. That's for sure.
And I would bet that there's probably even video of it.
Quite possibly. There may be some video. When we come back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is that guy all about? That's disgusting. We'll talk about that next. Here at the
check your inbox, Bauer.
A naked man mingles freely in a locker room. It's the Onion Radio News. I'm Doyle Redland. Bally Total Fitness patron Fred Littman, age 42, took an after-shower stroll today, casually greeting numerous men in the locker room, his flaccid penis and talcum-powdered scrotum in plain view. He socialized for approximately 15 minutes in a state of total undress. The buck-naked Littman then went on to sit in the most visible spot in the locker room and apply antifungal cream to his feet before finally putting on a towel. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Can I get you a drink?
Beer.
All I've got is Miller High Life.
Well, that's too bad. I was hoping you were going to give me a golden shower.
From the pristine bowels of New York City's East River comes the refreshing taste of Golden Shower Ale. Once you break the seal, you're in luck.
I need a beer with a natural taste. Let a golden shower trickle on your face.
Hey, man, good game. Yeah, you too. Man, I could really go for a golden shower. Really? Well, you're in luck. We recommend you serve golden shower at 98.6 degrees. Smooth going down and smooth coming out.
Golden shower.
Golden shower has the distinct taste you're going to get used to.
Golden shower.
Thanks for the golden shower. Now I want a 30 Sanchez.
Tuck her up, powder cup.
Golden shower ale. Go ahead, relieve yourself.
Back to the Dad's Home podcast. But first, more dad jokes.
A 63-year-old woman gave birth this year. 63 years old. And the article that I read about it, the focus of the article wasn't, yeah! The focus of the article was, well, last year, the record for childbirth was 62 years old. Luckily, science stepped up to the plate, and the new record is 63. You know, I am completely pro-science, anti-creationism all the way, but sometimes science is fucking wrong and gives us shit we don't need, like 63-year-old women giving birth. Why not just come out and go, hey, we made cancer airborne and contagious. You're welcome. We're science. We're all about coulda, not shoulda. What does the father say to the kid when the kid's old enough to go, where did I come from, Dad? Oh, well, sit yourself down. And Daddy's going to tell you all about the miracle of the birds and the bees. See, when a man loves a woman very much, he heaves himself off of his hemorrhoid donut. He takes 3 Viagra, a beta blocker, and an eyedropper full of blood thinner. Then he lays on top of his beloved like a pile of laundry on top of another pile of laundry. Then his penis, erect in defiance of God's will, enters her vagina like a chapstick entering the Luray Caverns. Then, 9 months later, she gives birth to a beautiful baby, which I will illustrate by pushing this uncooked Cornish game hen through these gray drapes. Now, if you have any questions about the magic of the birthing process, well, Dad, you're going to need to repeat all of that because I couldn't hear you over the sound of my dick screaming.
Welcome back to the Dad's Home podcast. Pat and Oswald there with your dad joke. Here, before the 4th of July, celebrating all the freedoms America has taken away from women across this country. I'm Bauer. That's the Chad. All right. This man needs a little bit of a professional help, possibly.
Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's find out where that kind of, the behavior there, Chad. I wouldn't let that man near my pool, let alone out in public at a softball field. Let's find out where that came from as we go to the tape.
We bring the absurd to your ear holes. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. To the tape.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Obviously, a problem with that tape, the wrong tape loaded in there.
We'll do it live.
We apologize. We don't have that clip from the radio station.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
But tape don't lie.
Oh my God, it most certainly does not. And we've got tape for you here today. To be fair, I was randomly sent something here by somebody.
My friend
1069@gmail.com. Is that who?
That's
sent
him.
Me?
That's him.
That's good. All right. Let me bring this up here because we actually have the footage I was looking for that I couldn't grab it because it was privatized on Facebook, probably for a number of really good reasons. But let's see if I can bring this up here and we can kind of take a look at this footage. Looks like a regular everyday softball game, Chad. something you might see in any state across this great country of ours. God bless America. Yet it's what you want to
flag
hear.
flying.
Yeah. You can see it right back out there in right center field. You can see the flag back there. Yet the language is what you have to listen for. Is the language here, folks? You have to listen to this portion of it now. From all intents and purposes, it looks like this is a stellar home run from the girl at the plate. I mean, like a bomb. It's the reaction that we are going to take note of here as we watch this footage. Oh, look at that. What a drive.
Get out of here.
Now look at this man. What is going on?
Who the hell is that guy?
Hold on. He's climbed the backstop. Hold on a second. What does he have to say? Wow, that man. Now look, the girls, of course, whoa, hold on a second there. That is...
Back it up.
Woo!
What?
First of all, the girls are celebrating, right? They're having a great time. She hit the home run. She rounded the bases. She touched them all. She touches home plate. The girls are celebrating. This man who climbs down off of the backstop.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, my God. That language.
I mean, where's the umpire?
That's a good question. I'm looking here. I don't see an umpire.
No. Come on.
Let's see. I don't.
That a girl.
Such language from that gentleman. I'm being told that gentleman is you, Chad. Is that correct? Hold on. Let me just, if I may, let's go back. There. Is that you climbing the backstop right there, Chad?
In fact, it is.
Man. All right. So, like, when this is Kate who hits the home run.
That's my daughter.
There. Look at this. Hold on. Listen to this hit. That doesn't get any better right there.
Get out of here.
And then you climb the backstop. Here it goes. I have concerns,
folks. That's what joy looks like.
It is.
That is joy.
I'm concerned.
The best part of that video that you can't actually tell here, which is to this day my favorite part, despite the ape that climbs the fence and loses his mind.
Right.
Is that the center fielder?
Yeah.
Which you can't really tell. You can kind of tell in this video, but in the other video I have, she is running backwards, like almost full speed. Like, oh, I've got this.
Okay.
And she hits. There's a temporary fence back there, and she hits that fence and just like goes down hard. You're like, I got it. Boom. Just and you may be able to see it in this video, just like a blurry version of it, but it's hilarious. And at that point, the ball's gone. It's over the fence.
It's long over her head.
20, 30 feet.
Already, right.
Oh yeah. She probably, even if the fence wasn't there, she would have had no chance to get the ball.
So despite the fact that she may have broken her hip on this, you were still enjoying that part. You were laughing at that.
That's actually what I was celebrating with. we finally hurt their center fielder.
We're over the coach with the high fives, and then
fuck yeah!
Yes. Now, at any point,
the other piece of context that everyone needs here too. This is my kid's first dinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she this is a championship game. Which here's another fun fact. The kids, because they played so well this particular weekend, won the team $1,600.
Whoa.
Yes. Yeah. So they're all professional.
Did you put $1,600 on the kids to win this game?
I wish I would have. No, actually, this is really cool. This particular tournament and the way it's set up, that the tournament directors said, hey, you win half the pot.
Wow.
And so they put together a pot for the teams. And then, the team that we beat, though, I'm sure they were sad they didn't get to the championship, but they did walk away with like almost $1,000. So,
well, that's okay. Look, so that you can't feel bad about that.
No.
Let's just once again relive the moment if we could here.
Yeah. And focus in kind of right underneath that sign in center field. That's your center fielder going down. There she goes.
Yeah, that's good. She's
watching it and down.
Oh. To the point where you actually climb the backstop is when she's gone down.
Yes. Well, and I will tell you, and watching that too, is literally until that point, until I saw her go down.
Yeah.
I thought, this is just a high fly ball.
Right. She's just going to catch it.
She's going to be out.
Yeah.
No shot.
Yeah.
And then I saw her hit that fence and I was like, it's gone. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened in the last 6 weeks, folks.
Was there anybody shocked at the foul and vulgar language you used there? No.
Of course, yeah.
No, there was not. Nobody there was offended by that.
Oh, no. I did get some shit for it, though.
Umpire didn't kick you out, did he?
No.
You didn't get the hoist from Blue?
No, Blue. Actually, and the home plate umpire was a woman, so and she was awesome. She actually called a really good game, which doesn't always happen.
No.
Yeah, my kid also is the pitcher, and she pitched that game, which was so that was a double whammy good time for her.
Yeah. Well, and as I recall, when you sent me that video, you also said she was 0 for 16 prior to that.
That's right.
So she was in a bit of a slump, and then she hits that tater to win the championship and to get out of the slump.
Yes. Yep.
Kind of validates the cursing and climbing of the backstop, I think.
Yes,
I thought that was a phenomenal video. Thank you very much. All right.
You're welcome.
One that's not so phenomenal, so please pardon here, is this family on vacation in Yellowstone. What you're seeing here is a couple of people off to the right of the Bison, full-grown adult, as in could gore you to death bison, and then somebody on the left here. And it looks like the three on the right are going, oh, that's a pretty bison. Does the bison want a pet? Does the bison want to get a little pretty?
Oh, you're so cute, bison.
Who's the bison? Who's the bison? And you start to see this is probably not the wisest choice. Oh, look, who's the bison? Oh shit, it's charging! Gored,
dude.
Oh.
And okay, yeah. So, and watching the video here, folks, the bison walks across a walkway.
Yeah.
And gets a hold of the kid, like a little kid.
Yeah.
So the family's standing there, mom, dad, probably, and their 3 to 5 year old kid.
Yeah.
And the mom and dad, rather than like grab the kid and run, they both split, and the bison gets the kid. And
Let's
I think
look at it again here.
It's I think maybe dad is like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Whoever's filming this is like, I don't think that's a good idea. Really?
Yeah.
To approach a full-grown bison like that?
Yeah, see, somebody said that's not a good idea.
Yeah, and then boom, kid first.
And it's a fucking stranger. It's the guy who is like farther up the walk path. It's not even the two that had the kid that comes over and grabs the kid and puts himself in front of the bison.
Right.
Him or herself. Can't tell from this video, but
right.
And then
possibly a former rodeo clown. I don't know. I'm not sure that it could have been makes sense.
That would have been a handy skill set to have in this particular moment.
Frankly, the only skill set to have. I don't care if you were a bullfighter. That would have been the only skill set to have, was be a former rodeo clown to take that. And then look, I wish that I could say that as stupid as this video is, and look at the bull, like the bison is right there just ready to go at somebody else. The bison's like, don't get the fuck near me at all. This has been happening with regularity at Yellowstone Park. This has been happening here in America with far, far too much regularity, where people are like, oh, who's the bison?
Yeah. And look, and for all you creationists out there who think Darwin is full of shit.
Right.
This continues to prove his theory of natural selection.
Yes, it does.
If you're a dumb fuck, and you do some dumb fuck thing, and you get yourself killed or gored or whatever, it's your own fucking fault, and you probably shouldn't be in the gene pool. Just say it.
Just as a quick note too, something I've just, as it is Business Idea Thursday.
Yeah.
Dumb fuck thing t-shirts.
Yes.
I think we should have a dad's
hashtag Darwinism
thing t-shirt. We could just have the hashtag dumb fuck things, and then that would be a segment on the show here.
Absolutely.
Going through dumb fuck things like that. I mean, that is just about as absurd as it could get.
And here's the thing about that video too, which this one is I'm sure luckily the kid and the guy are okay, that they didn't actually die. But not long ago, I read a story about a woman who was trying to do the same fucking thing and ended up getting killed.
Right.
I'm sure that bison got her horn, right in her sternum or something.
Sure.
Punctured a fucking artery and she bled out.
Collapsed a lung or some shit like that. Anything like that could have happened. Again,
and it doesn't look like there's a lot of emergency vehicles, people, and or facilities in Yellowstone.
And let's just call it what it is. If this were a bear, would you be like, "Oh, look at the bear. Let's go pet the bear. The bear's coming. Would you bring the bear?"
No. In Alaska, bears are like fucking rodents, and to get rid of them, you have a 12 gauge shotgun that you carry with you at all times.
Exactly true.
You're like, get out of here, bear! Kablam!
Right. You don't fucking slowly approach a bison like, do you want a carrot? Does the bison want a carrot? Does the bison fucking stop that? It is think of it as I almost think it's a bigger bull. Like it's a bigger, older, more fucking selective bull. That's what a bison is. And if you're approaching it, get ready. It is not happy to be there. It is there protecting. That's what the whole reason is.
Oh, yeah.
If it's getting close to you, because it's like you're getting too close to me, and now we're gonna have a duel. And I will win.
Fuck off. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna win.
And I'll tell you, so in our family, we have ranchers, right, with cows. I have family members who raise longhorns.
Yep.
And luckily the longhorns they breed out aggressiveness, so
okay, good.
Are pretty tame. But I'll tell you, even my father-in-law, he's had his run-ins with bulls that have knocked him around. And most of the time it's not like, hey, I'm going to fuck you up. It's just like they're big and they'll knock you around. He's got a giant dent in his truck from a bull cow. So any animal that's bigger than you, if you have zero experience around those animals, it's a dumb fuck thing.
And then there's who is clearly there to defend her child, almost as angry as a bison may be, I imagine.
Well, and look, this woman has got a point. Her son is being cyberbullied. So I mean, a great idea. Show up, have a conversation in person rather than throwing jabs online. I think that's smart.
And keep in mind, too, I will say this. If a bison could talk, I imagine
it'd be like this, Mom.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah. Here we go. Whoop.
Yeah, I'm going to need you and your son to come down here.
I'm sorry, what's this about?
Your son, he wasn't raised right. He online bullying people, cyber bullying. So I'm gonna need you to come on down here. We here now. We're gonna solve this. Come on down here.
She sounds like she wants
raised right. Listen, my son don't even have no computer.
But he got a cell phone. Do he got a cell phone? Yeah, he do. And he online bullying people. Come on down here. We here. He gonna catch these hands. Let's go. We here now. Let's go.
He's gonna catch his hands. Here we go.
Man, listen, you're about 50 years old out here trying to start some crap on my porch. You need to get it. You need to keep it moving.
I might be 50, but I'll whoop your ass like I'm 25. Come on down here. Come on. What's up? Let's go.
I feel like we could play that same audio underneath the bison.
Oh, dude, we need to cut that together.
That would be fantastic. If there were a way to make that work.
Oh yeah, just I'll work on that because
that would be great.
That would be funny. All right, done. Dunsky.
She's making a very good point, and she's. I mean, you can even see the son in the background. Like, no, don't do this, Mom. Please, let's go. Let's go someplace else. This isn't worth
Jacob,
it.
Come on down here and catch these hands. We're not playing. We don't play no kind of game.
Jacob,
okay.
Miss, my son's name is Caden.
My son, you and Jacob, come on down here and catch these hands. Let's go.
Miss, my son's name is Caden.
What did you say?
His name is Caden, my son.
I'm not going to keep going back and forth with who is Caden? Who is Caden?
I don't know, but
I mean, she's made some really good points. It just happens to be possibly at the wrong address.
Yeah. What does the son have to say?
There, not at his house.
You got me at the wrong house?
You got yourself at the wrong house.
I'm sorry, sir. It's a misunderstanding.
First of all, I like how the man who's on the Ring doorbell, not her, but the man is like, he lives next door. The Jordan lives next door.
Yeah.
That Jordan you're talking about? Like, he doesn't even offer that up. She's got to find out from her son that they went to the wrong place.
Don't even worry about it. You have a blessed day. Have a blessed day, sir.
Blessed day.
Be quiet.
I'm coming down here. I'm going to throw these hands.
Right. You're going to catch these hands.
Catch these hands.
Wrong house?
Oh.
Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day. Oh my God! Literally, you can't make this stuff up, folks. I mean, maybe they did, but either way, it's great. It's fucking great. What a great
Either
video.
way is solid good times. All right, Chad, before we wrap things up here, I just want to make sure you did not get barred from any future softball games by your outburst and climbing the background, the back fence for the softball field. You correct? You're okay with that?
Well, there is a bolo out for me in College Station. So, yeah, I don't know why, but I can't really go to College Station anymore.
If you have to shave, just remember, use the head slick. It's the best way if you're going to keep that identity a little more secret. All right.
Yep.
Hey, it's been a blast. We'll catch up with you guys for the next Dad's Home Podcast, episode number 214.
See ya.
Till next time. See ya.
I keep on coming on.